This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
While Lonzo Ball continues to do his thing with the Lakers in the NBA, his younger brothers, LiAngelo and LaMelo, are set to make their professional debuts next week in
Which
Lithuania.
is about as
the 19 and
jokey,
16-year-olds with their dad,
dorky
Levar and mom Tina,
as
arrived to a
7-foot
huge
skinny
crowd of local media.
bean poles from there in the Baltic states coming here to the NBA.
What do you think of this? This is great. This is awesome. Like we're happy to have a new chapter in our lives. If I had told you you'd be in Lithuania when we sat down 3 months ago, what would you have said? I would have said, you're right, because I got to be global. Let's keep moving forward, though. What are your expectations of the kids here? My expectations is for my boys to have a lot of fun playing in front of people. Like I tell them, basketball is just entertainment. And we come into Lithuania to entertain. I can't believe you got me to Lithuania. Hey, I'm glad you're over here, man, because we about to have some fun. I'm telling you, it's about to be short for Lithuania, lit.
For more on the Ball family, here's First Take.
That's actually pretty good. Lithuania's lit now. The Ball family arrived in Lithuania on Wednesday. LiAngelo and LaMelo are expected to make their debut on January 9th, and most of the tickets for the 1,200-seat arena have been sold. No surprise there, a little bit of star power. Are you going to pay attention? You're busy texting.
I'm handling stuff. Go ahead.
Okay, always handling business. Focus on me for a second here.
Yes.
What do you make of all the hoopla around the Ball's arrival?
I don't like it. I give credit to LeVar Ball because I don't think that you can malign him all you want to, but clearly he's achieving his objective, which is building notoriety and publicity for his big baller brand.
Worldwide now.
He's building it. There's no question about it. He's done it successfully, and there are people that can take notes and take lessons from him because of it. What I don't like is who it's being built around. I don't like the fact that LiAngelo and LaMelo are what is being built around. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't even know if they can play Division I basketball. You pulled your son out of high school. You pulled your other son out of college. Neither of which have played Division I basketball. They're over in Lithuania because you found somebody that was willing to buy into the hype and take a shot on that, and you're having a ball with it, and more power to you. It's the American way, and you've taken it, you've globalized it, and major props to LeVar Ball in that regard. But I just, when I see stuff like that, what I want to see are proven commodities. I want to see individuals that are showing that they're worthy of the hype that they're receiving. Ultimately, you have to get away from LeVar Ball and look at the product. The $500 sneakers, the two players that are his sons, none of which have shown they're worthy as of yet. If it's Lonzo Ball, who still has something to prove on the NBA level, that would be different. But these guys, we don't know yet. So all of this hype is because Daddy has successfully gone about the business of marketing that big baller brand. And again, major props to him. But whether or not they're worthy of it, well, again, you can make the argument they're worthy of it because of what LeVar Ball has done. I'm looking at the two players, and I'm saying, what have we seen from them that warrants all of this? Nothing.
Max?
Lithuania is a Baltic nation, Molly.
Mm-hmm. I'm aware.
What that means is that in the wintertime, the sun is rarely shining, and it is cold. It is cold and dark, and the days are short.
That's a beautiful day if you're Scandinavian. Which Max ain't.
Ever occurred. I've done research on
OMSR
in Lithuania in January. In the month of January in the history of planet Earth, nothing happy has ever occurred in Lithuania. So, people are excited that something's happening.
Of course.
Hey, Stephen A., don't be the Scrooge. Don't be the Grinch who stole January from the Lithuanians when they finally had something to watch, something to interest them. Even if you think that the kind of light that the Ball brothers, particularly these two, Stephen A., you don't know how good players they might be, even if you think that light is a false light, like the sun doesn't shine and these guys are not, it's just a kind of pop culture light that's not really based on anything. They're just kind of Kardashians playing basketball. Okay, it's still characters they know and maybe are kind of interested in. And let's say they can't play basketball. The Lithuanians will be happy to find out that they can't play basketball. It is something to do. People are happy. They're excited.
I'm in America. I know nothing about Lithuania, could care even less. I'm looking at the big baller brand itself, and I'm saying, okay, props to him for doing what he did. But ultimately, LiAngelo and LaMelo are the products that you're offering to justify all of this. I don't know anything about what they can do on this level, on an elevated level. I know that they were decent high school basketball players. I was looking forward to seeing what the kid was going to do at UCLA, but unfortunately he went over to China and tried to steal stuff and got busted and ended up stuck over there for a few days, and he's lucky he wasn't doing time. I wish him nothing but the best. I certainly don't wish any harm to come to anybody in that family. I personally like Levar Ball, but I'm just saying I'm a guy that ultimately goes back to the product that you're offering. What is it that you're selling? Why should we buy?
Big baller brand.
And that's all I'm saying. That ultimately is not about Lithuania. It's not about a Baltic state. It's not about all of this stuff that Max can come up with because he's Maximilian. It's about what are you offering in the end? That's what I'm focused on.
Max, I have a quick question for you. From a basketball perspective, though, them getting better as players on the court, do you think this could actually be a positive thing?
Listen, college is the best way to develop. American college is the best way to develop players over 4 years, by the way. One of the reasons Lonzo struggles now and Kyle Kuzma's setting the world on fire is because Kuzma's an example of an old-school college-developed player. Kuzma wasn't a star, but he had 4 years of development under the radar where he's become this fantastic, polished product, at least for a rookie, certainly. And Lonzo didn't have that, and it may in the long run set him back. It may take longer now to develop him because he has to develop over his head. Lithuanian basketball, is that a bad way to develop a player? I don't think so. It seems like that's a competitive place to play with real instruction, and it seems to me as though if they are good enough to play on a college level, they should be good enough to compete and maybe learn there. I think it's less than ideal, but I do think particularly if he wasn't going to get a play anyway, if he was going to be suspended at UCLA the rest of this season, why not? Why not go somewhere where you can play and develop?
No one said they shouldn't go. The question is that all the hype is warranted. That's what you're talking about here. That's all.
Big baller brand, international.
Well, I mean, look, keeping up with the Kardashians or whatever they call the show, is all the hype? What do they do exactly?
Listen.
They're
We
famous
said
for
the
being
same
famous.
thing.
That is the Ball family.
They're laughing their way to the bank.
Hold it. We said the same thing about them. That's all. Sure, you got popularity and notoriety. But there were still people saying, what do they do? I saw Judge Judy go on a talk show one time and talk about how hold on. I saw Judge Judy go on a talk show one time and talk about how the Kardashians had no talent. It doesn't stop them from making money. It doesn't stop them from doing what it is that they do. And they're a brand, okay? But that didn't stop folks from lamenting who they were and asking, what do they bring to the table? There's nothing wrong with somebody asking the big baller brand, what do you bring to the table in terms of your product?
At the very least, what we see now is though basketball was the launching pad for the big baller brand, this is some evidence to me at least that the brand has broken away. The kind of value of the brand has broken away from basketball a bit because at least at this point, it's no longer or it's not about success on the court. It maybe starts because, hey, they're playing basketball, but that's just an excuse to pay attention to the family at this point. No. Lonzo hasn't set the world on fire, and neither of his brothers so far as players,
that's not the
at
evidence.
least on in the pros and Lonzo, and at any level for his brothers, and yet we're interested. It seems as though the brand has broken away from success on the basketball court.
There's somebody behind the scenes